What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Eli the Rebel. Today's gonna be a very chill episode. I have to break down because I didn't explain it after the San Jose State game, the doubleheader episode, which if you haven't seen, click the top right corner. We're on the Alabama schedule screen because in order to understand and describe what happened after the San Jose State game, I have to break it down like this. So Alabama was the #1 team in the nation, right? However, so they beat Mississippi State, but then the week after that, they lost to Georgia Tech by 3. I swear, I don't know what it is with Georgia Tech in all the dynasties that I do. They just start, they absolutely go ballistic. Like after 2014 is when Georgia Tech starts going absolutely off for no reason, right? Like it just makes no sense. I don't know if it's because they're the best, triple option school and people just don't know how to stop the triple option. I don't know what it is, but they beat Alabama. They beat #1 Alabama. Now, granted, it was by 3, but they won. Kind of like how we beat USC by 1. So Georgia Tech beat Bama by 3. They won out their conference championship game. They beat Tennessee, and then they had their bowl game against West Virginia. I'm pretty sure it was the Sugar Bowl. I'll go check that in a bit. Now Oklahoma was the #2 team, and they had to take on #4 Texas A&M. They beat them. I mean, granted, it was a home game, but they beat them by a pretty good margin. 45-21 was the final score in that one. Beat Texas Tech. Then a bye week before Notre Dame. They beat Notre Dame. You know how Georgia Tech is surprisingly really good later on in the seasons? Yeah, Notre Dame surprisingly becomes trash. To some of you, that might not surprise you, but to me, it's surprising that Notre Dame just falls off more so than Georgia Tech going up. That dynamic between the two is kind of funny in this game. Then another bye week before the conference championship game. They were the #1 team going into this conference championship game, but they lose to Missouri 34-20. Very, very, very crazy stuff for sure. And then their bowl game, they lost to North Carolina. I want to say this is the Orange Bowl, but they lost to them pretty badly. 56-24, the final score in that one. And then Wisconsin had that game. They traveled to Happy Valley, whatever you want to call it. They beat Penn State 28-13 on the road, but they lost to Iowa the next week 19-24. That pumped them out of the national championship picture. They beat Marshall, they beat Wyoming, obviously. The Big Ten doesn't have a conference championship game, but they played Georgia Tech in a bowl game 28-14. They won. Here were the bowl games for each of those 3 teams. So Wisconsin won the Fiesta Bowl. However, Oklahoma loses to UNC in the Orange Bowl, and Alabama beat West Virginia in the Sugar Bowl, which leads us to who got into the national championship game. We did. The Grand Canyon University Antelopes will be taking on the Missouri Tigers next episode. So our matchup looks very good. We both have A offenses, but look at this. B defense versus C+ defense. And the stats back it up too. Now, granted, we were playing in the WAC most of the time, so these numbers are really, really good. Not gonna lie. When you allow less than 200 yards of defense against the WAC, that'll make you the #1 defense in the nation. Pass defense is only top 5, however. So maybe Missouri could try to throw the ball on us. We'll see how that goes. On the offensive side of things, we're #3 in the nation in points per game. They're #5. They're fourth in total offense. We're only 13th. We have a better rushing attack. We're almost top 25 in the nation for rushing. However, they're the #1 pass offense in this season. Now, I don't know who the head coach was in Missouri at 2010. I don't think he ran a Mike Leach, air raid kind of offense. So I'm very surprised that Missouri is #1 in the nation for passing. But I expect this game to go hit the over in points for sure. The Heisman winner for the 2013 season was a junior redshirt quarterback from Tennessee. He beat out AJ McCarron. This is Blaine Gabbert's little brother, Tyler. So this quarterback beat out AJ McCarron, Tyler Gabbert, and Taj Boyd in the Heisman running. This Jay Knox wide receiver is a recruit from Tennessee on some Cordarrelle Patterson type deal. I don't know. In terms of awards, McCarron actually won the Maxwell. They have a Virginia Tech left outside linebacker winning the Benerick Award. Davey O'Brien also goes to AJ McCarron. Tennessee halfback wins the Doak Walker. We have Matthew Thompson sitting there at number 6 with that award. A freshman wide receiver wins the Bolitnikoff. Pat Johnson. Very, very interesting. They had despite, an Alabama wide receiver being number 3 in the Heisman voting, another one finished 2nd in the Bolitnikoff. Jeff Long finished 3rd. Best tight end goes to UF guy. Best O-line goes to a left tackle from Wisconsin, a freshman, a true freshman. Remington goes to the Georgia Tech guy, a junior. Lombardi, Austin Smith finished 2nd behind Trey Smiley, but I look at these stats, okay? Like, sure, the tackles were a lot less in Austin Smith's case, but he had 18 sacks. He had 18 sacks. Like that, I'm surprised that isn't enough. But I guess they favor the total amount of tackles. Trey Smiley only had 9 sacks. But to be fair, he also had 2 interceptions and 2 forced fumbles, which is very impressive for a right end. Jason Givens obviously walks away with, I think this is called the Butkus Award? Is this called the Butkus Award? Somebody can explain that to me, what award this is for real. Thorpe Award for the secondary. 2 Missouri guys are here. The free safety won the actual award. The strong safety finished 2nd in the running. So that's a thing. We win the Groza as a redshirt freshman. So yeah, Fred Shelton is going to be our kicker moving forward. If for some reason I don't recruit a punter, I'm going to move Peter Henderson over to punter. We're going to have Fred Shelton be our kicker. Punter goes to Georgia Tech. Best returner, the Johnny Jet Award, goes to Matthew Thompson, which is very nice. And then the Missouri head coach wins Coach of the Year. I'm not gonna go over all of the all conference players. I'm only gonna do first team, second team, and freshmen. Otherwise, we'd be here for a little too long. So we have Tofi, aka AJ McCarron, here on the first team. Tennessee, Oklahoma for the running backs. Alabama and Iowa are on the first team, but not the freshman wide receiver that won the Bolitnikoff is here. Missouri has a first team All-American tight end, despite him not winning the actual Mackey Award for that. We got this offensive line going right here. 2 Navy guys, which makes sense. Again, something about the triple option in this game just makes the O-line absolutely, win a bunch of awards. we do not see Austin Smith on this ballot right here for first team All-Americans. So that means that they really favor like total tackles and stuff like that. You're going to see later on he's going to show up in the All-American second team, but this really surprised me. It just goes to show that, you know, total tackles is the name of the game in order to get on this list. Missouri has a defensive tackle as a first team All-American. That's going to be a problem. New Mexico State is on here. Look at this. Vaughn Anderson has 104 tackles. He became a first team All-American for that. Wow. That's quite the accomplishment for one of the worst teams in the WAC, I will say. The secondary is absolutely insane though. So we talked about the free safeties a little bit. Free safety, strong safety, right? Dan Tyson is in here. So they have one corner. We have Ronnie Adams in here. Again, you're with the Austin Smith situation. Lamont Watson, I think, should also be on this ballot instead. But beggars can't be choosers. We got obviously Fred Shelton, our kicker here. Their punter is first team All-American. So that means that they actually. So that means this punter actually can actually punt the ball far, which in return means Matthew Thompson has chances to return one back to the house if maybe. This is the All-American second team. Again, we see the Heisman winner in here. I still don't understand why that's a thing, but whatever. Navy halfback, Pittsburgh halfback. This is the Biletnikoff Award winner. He's here on the second team. Knox. Okay, so Knox finished third in the Heisman. He's on the first team. But then the second in the Biletnikoff is here. So we see a snub in the All-American wide receiver room. Jeff Long did not make either first or second team, which is shocking to me. Here's the Mackey Award winner. We got offensive line over here. Here's Austin Smith along with a Mississippi State defensive end. We got Nebraska, ECU, Boston College, a Missouri outside linebacker. This is a left outside linebacker. That's All-American second team. Gotta keep an eye out for that. We do not see Lamont Watson here. Lamont Watson got absolutely robbed in the second team All-Americans too. Good grief. Wow. We got a lot to prove. We got a lot to prove next episode for sure. And then our freshman team, they have a starting halfback on the freshman team. He's going to be nice. Obviously, we have Biletnikoff Award winner here. Adam Tyson, freshman All-American, 6'5", 322-pound tight end. That's going to be an absolute problem in the future for sure. You got the O-line award right here. Dan Brown, offensive guard. Our left guard is also a freshman All-American too. That's super cool to see. They have defensive end, defensive tackle, true freshman to be exact. We got Odell Cox on this list. Here's Dan Tyson here's Dan Tyson right here. Freshman All-American. That one was a red shirt. And obviously we got Fred Shelton there. And Nate McGinty, aka Devin Smith, is here as a freshman All-American for kick returning. On the offensive side of the ball, Tony Johnson, I think it was because of his last two games versus Fresno State and San Jose State, he dropped to second team All-WAC this season. Hopefully he comes back next season and we get him to first team All-WAC and maybe even an All-American nomination. There's no way he's going to win a Heisman, I think. You have to be like super good the year before and then repeat that, if not duplicate that, and one up your season before in order to win a Heisman. We talked about Matthew Thompson. He was not recognized for his rushing. He did have a vast improvement, 867 yards. and 10 more touchdowns from the year prior and things like that. To be fair, he was dealing with an injury and things like that. So in the previous season, that's fine. We decided to start Mark Howard instead of Brian Jenkins just because of the speed factor right here. Jeff Long made first team All-WAC, but I think he should have made, an All-American team of some sort. Marlon Colbert didn't have the greatest of seasons because he was hurt up until the Fresno State game. So his receiving stats aren't that great, to be honest. But David Bodiford and Doug Fontenot came in and absolutely, did the business. We talked about Adam Tyson. Even Mike Stewart got some, stars on there. So the twin tight end sets are working very, very well for the most part. Offensive line, we did have to redshirt Aaron Johnson. I don't know if I explained that before, but he had like a dislocated jaw or something. So basically, we weren't able to redshirt Marlon Colbert, but we were able to medical redshirt this guy. This is the bare minimum depth that we have for offensive line. So we gotta boost that up in the next offseason. Defensive end, we're gonna be okay. Austin Smith, is gonna be our starting left end, and then the progression that Matt Horn went through this season, he's going to be a tremendous, right end. Like, he's gonna have no problem filling in for Mike Moyer when he graduates. Defensive tackle is gonna be a position of need. I got these three guys coming back, and that's it. But thankfully, these two are have progressed up. They caught up to Buster Prince, so they're all going to, grow together in the next spring game. Stephen Dunlap. I was surprised I didn't see anything from Stephen Dunlap, to be honest. He had the Tony Johnson disease where, he got freshman All-American, but then the next year he got second team All-WAC, which is kind of unfortunate. Trey Petty had a very good true freshman season. We might redshirt him and keep him around for a while. Who knows? Greg Pierce went under the radar, but he's looking like a very good captain in the near future, if I were to predict. Ronnie Adams, we're gonna miss his services greatly. Was he All-American in a year prior? No, this was his first time being an All-American, so that's super cool. That's super cool. Andy Wallace is gonna fill in the shoes very, very soon. Lamont Watson got robbed just like Tony Johnson. Absolutely got robbed. Dale Justice in the nickel has been great. Mike Hollis improved a little bit throughout the season. Marcus Brown is just there, whatever. Michael Brown, this is our weak spot in the defense, in my opinion, is free safety. I'm going to recruit another free safety if I have to, because especially with these backups that I have, 59 and 56, no. I need freshmen in there. Nick Bell fell off completely. So he was a first-team All-American and first-team All-WAC last season, and then just completely fell off, according to the committee, as he had 8 less tackles, only 1 interception on the season, 2 less PBUs, and 2 less forced fumbles, and obviously 0 defensive touchdowns. He fell off, unfortunately. John Haas went up +2. So strong safety isn't completely the end of the world per se. And then I talked about this a little bit. Our kicker position for next season, Fred Shelton is going to be our go-to kicker. If we don't get a punter, we're going to move Peter Henderson over there. Even if we get 1 punter, I'd like to move Peter Henderson over and redshirt the 1 punter if I can, because we have 2 redshirt seniors. So this is our game plan for the national championship game. I was expecting to get some running plays, but I didn't. And I was afraid I would get all passing plays because, again, like their secondary, their free safety and their strong safety headline the All-American class. I don't want to throw deep on these guys, but I got a couple of short passing plays if we're ever in, fourth down territory or something like that. I got Razor Indy, wide receiver under, and wide receiver curls as short passing plays. And then this is more of a long passing play right here. This PA flood sweep and the wide receiver middle. Those are going to be longer passing plays. So I just got to keep that in mind. I'll do it right now. To end the video, I'm going to go over to the coaching carousel save file, and I'm going to show you where Coach Edwards takes his talents next. So we didn't win the conference or the Sugar Bowl. We lost the Sugar Bowl to Ole Miss, 49-33. Our only loss before the Sugar Bowl was against USC in the Coliseum. 21-35 was the final for that one. Unlike in the actual dynasty, we actually beat USC in the Coliseum. So, now we just sim all the rest of the bowls. We're gonna see who wins the national championship. We're gonna see what team that we're gonna take for Coach Edwards, and then see who won the national championship. And then that's the episode today, guys. Just wanted to give you something, a chill episode, because we're gonna use I'm gonna make a brand new intro for the national championship game. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh shoot! So I can go to Ohio State or Nebraska. Now Nebraska is on a 3-year probation. So while the Ohio State job is more tempting, I'm going to pick Nebraska because I want to rebuild that team for 3 years until their probation's over. I'm going to take the Nebraska job because the 3-year probation, I think it's like less than 5 scholarships. So we only get 20 scholarships to work with. So it's really just going to be a program standards discipline simulator for me. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the next job. Wisconsin beat Alabama in the national championship, 42-24. Good for them. So the next episode is going to be the national championship, but the episode after that one will be both recruiting, like a recruiting recap of this, and then obviously the real recruiting special after the national championship. So again, it's been your boy Eli the Rebel. I'll catch you guys next episode, man. Peace.